And a good day to you. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. Former Congresswoman Colleen Hanabusa died last night after a private battle with cancer. Although she didn't succeed in several major campaigns, she was respected for her political skills and her toughness. Daryl Huff has a look back at her career and impact on the islands.
I was very fortunate to be born and raised in Waianae.
Born in 1951, Colleen Hanabusa's West Side upbringing may have given her the chip on her shoulder that produced a politician who never shied away from a fight.
When I think of Colleen Hanabusa, I think of determination. I think that she was tough. And she was a fighter.
Within months of being elected to the state senate in 1998, she was demanding a recount of the election that Ben Cayetano barely won over Linda Lingle.
It's almost like we're getting half answers, and there's got to be a way to get the total picture.
Soon after that, she organized the Senate's ouster of Cayetano's Attorney General Marjorie Bronster after Bronster forced out the politically connected trustees of the Bishop estate.
Marjorie Bronster has not been confirmed by the Senate.
She moved up, becoming Hawaii's first female Senate president in 2007 and was elected to Congress in 2010. And in 2012, as Senator Daniel Inouye was dying, he asked Governor Neil Abercrombie to appoint Hanabusa to his seat. But Abercrombie instead picked his lieutenant governor, Brian Schatz.
It was, I think, one of the more momentous moments in Hawaii politics. I mean, it really was in some ways a rejection of the Inouye era.
Political science professor Colin Moore says Hanabusa's challenge was connecting with voters.
I think that her power was often more as an inside strategist than a public communicator.
She lost in her 2014 effort to take the Senate seat from Schatz. She went back to Congress in 2016 after the death of Mark Takai, where she championed the troubled Honolulu rail system, and she showed her feistiness when a Trump appointee tried to greet her in Japanese.
Oh, konnichiwa.
I think it's still Ohayo gozaimasu, but that's okay.
When out of office, Hanabusa was a respected labor lawyer, and she enjoyed the support of unions throughout her career. Never afraid to take chances, and with the support of labor leaders, she gave up the safe seat in Congress to challenge Governor David Ige in 2018.
Because at the highest level of state government today, there is a deeply troubling lack of leadership and vision.
By then, she'd won over Cayetano despite prior differences, and he endorsed her. Nonetheless, she lost in the primary. But before long, she became chair of the Honolulu Authority for Rapid Transit and was highly critical of rail management. In 2020, she decided to run in a crowded field for mayor.
There's some people think I've been around forever. It really isn't as long as people may think.
After coming in third in the primary, she endorsed eventual winner Rick Blangiardi, who put her back at Hart, where she again took the chair and found herself again tough on management.
That's not my point. That's not my point, Laurie.
As chair, Hanabusa helped salvage the federal funding agreement and finally in 2023 rode the rail system she fought for, surrounded by politicians she'd sometimes fought against.
We're able to put our differences aside for one specific purpose, and that is rail, the completion of rail.
Hanabusa left the Hart Board for health reasons last September. She is survived by her husband, John Souza, a former police detective. She was 74 years old. Daryl Huff, Hawaii News Now.
American forces in the Middle East are the targets of Iranian strikes, and now we're learning Iran is getting help finding the targets. President Trump says the fighting will not end until Iran completely surrenders. Erica Brown has more details from the White House.
CBS News has learned Iranian intelligence may have been able to track the movements of U.S. forces in the days before a retaliatory strike killed U.S. service members in Kuwait. According to a U.S. Army memo, the troops had just recently been moved in anticipation of attacks.
As we built up offensive combat power, we moved the vast majority of American troops, over 90% of Americans that were on our bases, what we say off the X, out of the range of Iranian fire.
Multiple sources have also confirmed to CBS News a Washington Post report that Russia is providing intelligence to Iran about U.S. positions. but the White House downplayed concerns Friday on any potential impact.
It clearly is not making a difference with respect to the military operations in Iran because we are completely decimating them.
President Trump met with Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and the leading American defense contractors as the commander-in-chief looks to accelerate weapons production.
He'll be speaking directly with these defense contractors, but of course, as the president has maintained, we have more than enough ammunition, weapons, stockpiles to achieve the objectives of Operation Epic Fury.
The White House says the U.S. is still on track for a 4 to 6 week campaign against Iran. Iran's president said other countries have tried to begin mediation efforts. President Trump responded saying, quote, "There will be no deal with Iran except unconditional surrender and the selection of a great and acceptable leader." The president says he wants the U.S. to help select Iran's new leader to replace the Ayatollah Khamenei, who was killed in the first round of airstrikes. Erica Brown, CBS News, the White House.
Happy Aloha Friday, everybody. Very nice outside today, but conditions are going to change as we're going into next week. A couple of days of potentially heavy rainfall and isolated thunderstorms on the way. Again, let's take a look at the conditions outside. Pretty warm. We've been warming up with these southeasterly winds around 13 miles per hour out there. 83 degrees right now, humidity right around 58%. Let's just take a quick look at our first alert radar and satellite. Relatively quiet across the islands today, but off to the northwest. There's this front that's going to stay off to the northwest of us throughout this weekend and then slowly creep down closer to the island chain as we're going into Monday night and Tuesday. A little bit of cloud cover out there creeping closer to us this weekend. Coming up, I'll give you a look at our first alert futurecast. I'll give you a quick glimpse here. You can see as we're going throughout the weekend, pretty quiet. Then we start to see several days of heavy rainfall. I'll give you the breakdown on this coming up.
In other news of the islands today, we've been following some breaking news. A woman is dead after she was stabbed multiple times in a Macaulay area apartment. And another woman is fighting for her life. We've learned that two stabbings are related. Now here's what we know. Police were called out to Fern Street at about 5:30 p.m. yesterday. They found the 53-year-old victim unresponsive. We're told some of her injuries appear to be defensive. She was pronounced dead at the scene. We've also just learned that the suspect in this case is believed to be the boyfriend of the victim. Honolulu police said he was out on work furlough when he allegedly stabbed his girlfriend, stole her car, and drove to his ex-wife's house in Kapolei. Meantime, another 53-year-old woman is fighting for her life after she was stabbed multiple times in Kapolei. This happened at about 4:15 p.m. yesterday on Keali'ahonui Street. She was rushed to the hospital in critical condition. Police confirmed a moment ago that the suspect is in custody. A 40-year-old man is in custody after he allegedly rammed a police vehicle. It started at about 1:30 this morning when police got a report of the suspect threatening a man with a gun at Sandy Beach Park. Officers found the suspect driving and pulled him over. They say the suspect then reversed into their vehicle before attempting to flee. He did not get very far. The suspect was arrested for multiple crimes. The officers were not injured. And Honolulu police are searching for 3 masked suspects involved in an armed robbery in Kakaako over the weekend. It happened near Cook and Halekawila streets just after midnight on Sunday. Police say the suspects are between 15 and 20 years old. They were wearing black hoodies, jackets, ski masks, and sweatpants. The robbery happened near a kupuna rental building.
It's very hard for us coming here, living here especially, because I have to make sure I'm home before the sun goes down, because there's so many things happening, you know.
And now it's like we're scared to come outside, you know, to get fresh air, because we don't know who's watching us and, you know, what could possibly happen.
Investigators say before the robbery, the suspects interacted with the victims at Gatsby, Hawaii, and were not wearing masks. If you know their identities, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers. And coming up, more details surrounding the firing of Kristi Noem. We'll tell you what's next for the former Secretary of Homeland Defense. Plus, this year's Merrie Monarch Festival is fast approaching. We'll take you to the Orchid Isle to see how Halau are preparing for Hula's biggest night. And welcome back to This Is Now. The firing of Christine Noem as Secretary of Homeland Security marks President Trump's first removal of a cabinet secretary in his second term. The controversy surrounding her came to a head this week when she testified in Congress. Wijia Jiang reports from the White House.
The 8th Homeland Security Secretary, Christine Noem.
Christine Noem was introduced on stage in Nashville as Homeland Security Secretary, just over 20 minutes after President Trump named Noem Special Envoy for the Shield of Americas, a new coalition of Latin American countries. Noem made remarks without addressing the news.
We will need brave men and women who step up and serve.
But later on social media, Noem thanked Trump for her new position. An administration source tells CBS News replacing her was based on the culmination of her many unfortunate leadership failures, including the fallout after Noem falsely claimed 2 Americans killed by immigration officers in Minnesota both had committed acts of domestic terrorism. And this ad campaign featuring Noem.
If you are considering entering America illegally, don't even think about it.
That cost $220 million. This week, Noem was grilled about it during a hearing on Capitol Hill.
Correct.
Did the president know you were going to do this?
Yes.
He did.
Yes.
In an interview with Reuters, Trump said, "I never knew anything about it."
The president, when he called me Tuesday night, the night of the hearing, when he was mad as a murder hornet.
Trump has nominated his close ally, Senator Markwayne Mullin, a former Oklahoma rancher and undefeated mixed martial arts fighter, to be the new Homeland Security Secretary.
I am super excited about this opportunity. It came at not a complete surprise, but it came at a little bit of surprise for us.
Noem also faced allegations of an affair with her advisor and Trump's first campaign manager, Corey Lewandowski, who is also leaving DHS. An administration source says that Noem's drama overshadowed and distracted from Trump's immigration agenda. Weijia Jiang, CBS News, the White House.
Hawaii leaders concerned about federal funding are reacting to Homeland Security Secretary Christine Noem's firing. Mahealani Richardson reports.
Reaction from Hawaii's congressional leaders to Secretary Christine Noem's firing was swift.
She weaponized this department against everyday Americans literally executed in our streets.
In December, the congressional delegation wrote this letter to Noem and FEMA's administrator about their, quote, deep concern regarding execution challenges with FEMA grants and its negative impacts. Congressional leaders noted significant delays and obstacles with federal funding programs, including the Emergency Food and Shelter Program and Violence and Terrorism Prevention. Regarding delays for Maui wildfire aid, U.S. Representative Ed Case said in a statement, quote, many appear to stem from Secretary Noem's directive requiring her personal approval for all DHS funding obligations exceeding $100,000. This policy created substantial bottlenecks, resulting in unacceptable delays.
So it's not enough just to remove the secretary. We have to see a culture change within the Department of Homeland Security, and that is absolutely essential.
Meanwhile, 57-year-old Roger Araujo was arrested by ICE in Honolulu in October and faces deportation to Brazil. His wife, Cheryl Bartlett, a former Miss Hawaii, called it a clerical error.
He's frustrated. He's trying not to be angry. He's trying to encourage me.
Bartlett has been in Brazil since mid-February, waiting for her husband. Araujo has been transferred to federal facilities in Adelanto, California, Mississippi, and now Louisiana.
The ICE processing center in Adelanto was probably the most despicable. He had to sleep on the floor, packed side to side, end to end, no blankets, no showers, limited amount of food for 4 nights.
Regarding leadership changes at DHS, Bartlett expects no change for her husband.
I do not think it will have any impact on our particular case. I think an entire change of administration would have to happen.
Now, Bartlett says about 90 detainees, including her husband, are still waiting for a flight from a Louisiana processing facility to Brazil. Meanwhile, Kay said there may be short-term uncertainty, but a chance to revisit policies that hinder disaster recovery, while Takuda hopes new leadership will embrace accountability, transparency, and the balance of powers. Mahialani Richardson, Hawaii News Now.
Hawaii's top hula halau are busy getting ready for the Merrie Monarch Festival. Ke'ahi Tucker is on assignment to see how they're preparing.
Aloha from the Edith Kakaako Ole Stadium here in Hilo. We're watching the dancers of Halau o Ke Kuhi in their second time on stage, preparing for the Merrie Monarch Festival coming up in about a month. This is a halau known for its bombastic style, evoking Pele and Hi'iaka. This will be the first year they're dancing without their beloved kumu, Alani Kanaka Ole Zane, who passed away in January. We spoke with a number of her loved ones here in Hilo about the transition underway, what it's like to be here without her, and also the legacy they carry on. We'll have those stories and many more in the weeks ahead. Reporting from Hilo, I'm Ke'ahi Tucker, Hawaii News Now.
Hey, thank you so much, Ke'ahi. Here's what we're tracking. We've got a first alert weather day in place for Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. Several days of rainfall on the way. Looking to be a very active week of weather ahead. We'll give you the details coming up.
First Alert Weather with Drew Davis.
Well, let's look at the time. It's Aloha Friday, everybody. We've got a nice weekend ahead of us, but again, we have a very active weather pattern ahead of us. Let's take a look at what we've got in store. This is what we're tracking out there. Breezy east-southeasterly winds through Sunday, actually introducing some moisture and instability and humidity into the atmosphere, kind of priming it for this weather pattern we're going to be seeing next week. A small weekend northwest pulse, and again, first alert weather days throughout Tuesday and Wednesday. Right now we have them up statewide, but it's really going to be Kauai and Oahu that see the brunt Tuesday into Wednesday. Then we're going to start to see this expand statewide as we're going into Wednesday. We'll likely extend the first alert weather days into Thursday and Friday. Let's just take another look at that cold front. Again, it's off to the northwest of us and it's going to stay there throughout the weekend. We'll see a little bit of cloud cover moving in as we're going into late tonight and sticking around throughout the weekend over the western half of the state. Let's take a look at the first alert futurecast, just showing you what's going on. There's the front off to the northwest of us. That stays out to the northwest and kind of falls apart a little bit as we're going into Saturday and Sunday. Getting weaker out there, then a low pressure system is going to be developing kind of developing off to the northwest of us. This is going to be moving north of us, bringing in the cold front. This is Wednesday. You're seeing it stick around not through just Wednesday, but all the way into Thursday and Friday. So we're watching several days of potentially heavy rainfall, causing us to start seeing the potential for some flooding out there. This continues all the way into Saturday as well. Conditions could improve. This front is going to be stalling over the state, bringing just continued rainfall. Now, our first alert futurecast, here's a little bit more of a local view. You can see out there Saturday, Sunday, a little bit of cloud cover out there. Monday morning, we're seeing windward showers. Then the rainfall comes in for Kauai late Monday night into Tuesday, moving down to Oahu and Maui County into Wednesday. Some showers possible for Hawaii Island. And this really continues all the way into Thursday and Friday. We're watching this pretty closely. That's why we've issued that first alert weather day for you for Tuesday and Wednesday. You can see it on our 7-day forecast here. Tuesday, Wednesday, first alert weather days. Thursday and Friday highlighted in red.
Thank you very much, Drew. Spring break is almost here, so Casey Lunn has a preview on how you can stay cool. We'll be back with Casey, as you can see her right there, right after the break.
All right, time for some good news now. Spring break is almost here, and Wet n Wild Hawaii is opening daily with rides, movies, and special events.
And of course, we want to see Casey Lund there, so he went to the park to check out what they have planned.
Aloha and good Sunday morning to you. Isn't it beautiful? The volcanic wedgie. It's Wet n Wild's newest, greatest attraction. I just went down it, and I did it pretty well. I actually beat my record from the last time I was here. I've got Tuffy Nicholas with us from the Super Hawaiian Circus. I've also got Scott Luce from Wet n Wild Hawaii. Gentlemen, what time did I do? Let's look at the video, by the way. You timed me.
I timed you 13 seconds flat.
Not too bad. I want to talk a little bit about all the stuff that's happening here with Scott in a minute, but Tuffy's in town, and we've got the Super Hawaiian Circus bringing the big top to Wet n Wild, and we've got this new event space right over here, just mauka of the volcanic wedgie.
Right, it's a beautiful space too, and it's going to be the first time we brought the Super Hawaiian Circus to Hawaii under the big top. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, so opportunity for folks to get free tickets. We'll talk about that in a minute, but I'll let you brag a little. You got some, you're pulling out all the stops for this. Nitro Circus is going to be here.
Yes, well, some of the bike riders from Nitro Circus got flips on a dirt bike from ramp to ramp. We got the K-pop girls doing aerial ballet. We've got hand balancing, contortion, hilarious clowns, you name it. This is going to be the biggest show we've ever done in Hawaii.
All right, okay. And because of that, we're doing something pretty cool for folks. The first 500 and season pass holders get a deal too. Can you tell me about that?
Yes, I can tell you a little bit about it. You buy a pass, a season pass, and you get a free ticket to the circus. And that ticket is an adult ticket. So there's free kids tickets all over the marketplace and on our website. I believe on Wet n Wild's website as well. So you can get 2 people in when you just buy a pass for the season, which is an amazing deal in and of itself.
Absolutely, and we'll get all that on HawaiiNewsNow.com so folks know where to go. But I'll talk to Scott real quick too, because beyond the circus, you got all kinds of stuff going on for spring break. Affordable fun, safe fun here at Wet n Wild.
Yeah, so we're open every single day, March 11th to March 29th. We've got our season pass with a free upgrade to the Gold Pass, which gets you free parking, other perks and benefits, and it's only $66.99, the same price as a one-day admission. It's unbelievable.
And even before actual spring break for public schools, they already have stuff going on, including movies on the big screen and even adult nights.
Yes, so March 14th from 7:30 p.m., 21 and over, we're turning our whole park into a nightclub. It's going to be circus-themed, obviously. We're going to have some performers from the circus come over. We're going to have glow foam, black lights, neon lights. It's going to be an awesome time. So 21 and over, leave the kids at home and come have fun.
Yeah, very good. And next year, you guys got to race the volcanic wedgie, all right?
I got him on the way.
Any of those, I beat you, my friend. Any of those details you missed, they're online at HawaiiNewsNow.com. Have a good rest of your weekend. Aloha.
Drew, I bet you could beat Casey's time.
Do you think?
I think so.
All right, maybe.
We'll see that challenge happen.
I've never been to Wet n Wild. I need to go.
Okay.
It looks like a lot of fun.
Maybe you can accept Casey's challenge, or maybe I'll challenge you to Casey's time. How about that?
All right, here's our 7-day forecast, Jonathan. Of course, we're watching this very closely. Tuesday, Wednesday, currently first alert weather days. You'll notice we also have Thursday and Friday highlighted in red. Those days are likely going to become first alert weather days. Just for what we're seeing in the data, it is going to be a very active week of weather, seeing potential for heavy rainfall for days at a time. We're going to continue to fine-tune the details. We'll have more coming up at 4 p.m.
Thanks for the update, Drew. We'll see y'all later. Ahui ho, malama pono.